The D2R2 model, which is desensitize, decongest, reperfuse, and then remodel, is a fantastic model we can use to work on getting out of an ache or pain, getting out of an injury. And this red, what we call a Voodoo floss band, is great to use for the decongest part of this model, which is getting rid of swelling. So let's pretend I tweaked my knee swelled up a little bit, and I actually just recently saw a patient who she's having a lot of knee problems. She probably actually has to get surgery for it, but we still made a good amount of progress, and actually she had a lot of symptom relief temporarily by using one of these. And I will say, if you have any blood conditions, right, blood disorders, or you bruise easily, or you think, I just don't think I'm a good candidate for this, or you're afraid to do it, don't do it, right? If you have something going on, speak to a physician before you tie something tight around your knee or around a body part. But what we're going to do with this is actually use it to help push out the fluid, right? Push out the swelling, edema, whatever you want to call it, out of the area, back into the circulatory system or the lymphatic system, whatever we're pushing it to, and get it out of that area. And then there's going to be a rush of blood that's going to come in there, and blood is oxygen. Oxygen means healing. Blood is also hydration, which also equates to healing. So we need to have blood flow and new blood flow, not just stagnant swelling. Whether it's in the joint capsule, whether it's in the surrounding fluid, surrounding tissues, this is going to help get that fluid out of there. So what do? We're going to sit on the ground, and we're going to start below the knee, right? So we're going to be here, and I have a relatively bonier leg, so these landmarks really pop out here. So you want to be below the kneecap, right? Or at least below the level of the swelling. So we're going to start here, and then how much force do you pull through? Especially the first time, you can go a little bit easier. What I like to do is stretch it to half of its length, right? So at the full length is actually really tough if you don't pull it that hard, but not double its length, but half of the length is a good rule of thumb. We want to pull this thing to the band as we're going up. You can see I'm getting a good amount of force here. And come up even more, get closer to that knee. Go. So again, why would you use this? Your knee swelled up, you tweaked it, right? Typically, even if it's not swollen, you have a tweaky knee, there's some inflammation in the area. This is going to help clear out that inflammation, and then there's going to be a rush of new blood, which is going to help heal whatever, if you did any damage, or just have it feel better. So now this is pretty darn tight, and you can just hang out here, start a timer. 2 minutes is kind of the maximum I want here. Just start moving it, right? I can just do some bends, kind of work that knee out, pretty darn tight. 2 minutes maximum. Right? If you start getting numbness or tingling in the foot, well, especially tingling, take a break. I'm eventually going to have a zombie foot here in a second. I actually want you to take your sock off, and you can make sure, hey, do I still have some blood flow? Push on your nail bed, and just keep on moving it. It might look like a zombie foot after a little bit, because we're trying to pump out the old blood, right? Pump out all that metabolic waste in there, things that we don't like that cause pain. Whew, starting to get more zombie-like. There's a reason I sat next to the pole. You can stand up. You can go into some squats, guys, right? Use this, get into a deep squat, move around a little bit. If you have leg hair, I'm sorry, it's gonna do a little bit of pulling on you. Not too bad though if you do it the right way. And it's probably just been about 1:10 for me. Once it hits 2 minutes, or if you're like, oh, I just can't handle it anymore, it's going to turn into a zombie foot. I promise you, you're going to be fine. But once it hits that 2 minute mark, come on back down, or have a seat wherever you are. Take the band out, right? You're going to take it off. I can't do this the fancy way. Just take it off. You're like, feels so good. There should be a rush of new blood into the area. Take it all in. It feels great for me. And so what's happening, again, we pushed out all that old blood that had inflammation, that had metabolic waste, and now we just pushed it all out, plus the swelling, the edema, right? Push that out, and then now there's a rush of new blood in the area to help heal or, right, regenerate, whatever it's doing, right? There's oxygen there, there's hydration. If this was dehydrated, especially the muscles, like the glutes are always really dehydrated, right? Pretend our calves were really scarred down. It's a great way to help, boom, get a rush of blood into this area if we were doing the calves, to help them remodel become a better tissue.